attempts, and so essentially she will drop out of the competition. We are underway in the men's 1500. 2 heats in this race. Ford Washburn of NAU in wearing hip 1, Harvey Cram of Montana State in hip 2, Will Luoma of Weber State hip 3, Owen Rogers of Weber State hip 4, Jared Harden of Idaho State hip 5, Rob McManus, who just won the steeplechase a few minutes ago in hip 6, Jacob DeTemple of Idaho State hip 7, Dylan Wilson of Northern Colorado hip 8, Lane Cole of Montana in hip 9, Sam Jepson of Idaho State wearing 10, and Nico Mann of Montana State wearing 11. For the top 8 return from last year, 3 of the top 5 times in the league belong to Montana State. The leader is Harvey Cram in the Big Sky, 3:37.31 this year. He is 23rd in the nation. He was 4th in the Big Sky last year, 8th in the mile indoors. McManus, who is attempting a crazy back-to-back double here, running the steeple in the 1500 in about a half hour, ranks 5th in the Big Sky, 3:40.14. He was 6th a year ago. Just trying to do enough to get into the finals and then give it a go tomorrow when he's fully rested. 4th of the Big Sky indoors in the mile. And then Washburn from NAU wearing hip number 1. He was 6th in the Big Sky in the regular season, 3:40.52, and finished 5th in the mile at the indoor championships. So approximately at the midway point, 2 laps to go. Cram is in the lead, ran 50.47 on that first 300, 108.96 on the first full lap. He is in the lead by a fraction of a second over Washburn and McManus. Owen Rogers also under 2 minutes, as is Dylan Wilson of Northern Colorado. As this pack now begins to pick up some pace. Colin Salmon of NAU was the winner a year ago. We'll see him in Heat 2. Cram was 4th, McManus 6th. And this lap substantially faster than we saw on the previous. We'll see what the splits are as Cram comes to the line. Cram, Washburn, and McManus were the leaders after the first full lap. It is Cram at 2:58.95, 59.52 on that split. Washburn second, McManus third, all in under a minute. And those 3 starting to stretch it out. Harvey Cram, the sophomore from Australia. Washburn, McManus, and now Nico Mann has moved up into 4th. Cram with a look over his shoulder. He's going to take something off the gas as he will advance into the finals. And he will jog across the line, followed by Ford Washburn, Rob McManus, and Nico Mann. 3:53.76 the time for Cram. Washburn runs 3:54.34. McManus 3:54.90, just moments after running 3,000 meters in the steeplechase. Nico Mann 3:55.35. Lane Cole of Montana into 5th at 3:56.77. Dylan Wilson 6th from Northern Colorado at 3:57.54. And you can see the remainder of the times on the screen. We're getting ready to start Heat 2. Drew Bosley, who is one of the conference leaders in the 5K and 10K, is going to run the 1500 for the first time this season. He is wearing hip 1 from Northern Arizona. Caleb Easton, his teammate, hip 2. Sam Ellis of Montana State in 3. Colin Salmon will wear hip number 4. TJ Warnick of Weber State wears 5. Alex Harbertson of Weber State next to him in 6. Corey Gorgeous of Northern Arizona 7. Bryce Anderson of Weber State wearing hip 8. Gage Zanette of Idaho hip 9. Gavin Pollock of Idaho State in 10. Nick Moore of Portland State wearing hip 11. And Sonny Gunn of Idaho State wearing hip 12. Salmon, the defending champion, he ran 3:39.41 this season. Last year, he won it in 3:47.28, so he is 8 seconds faster, but comes in ranked 4th in the conference. The fastest time this year in this heat belongs to Sam Ellis of Montana State. He's in hip 3. He is 2nd in the league with a wind altitude-adjusted time of 3:38.19. Corey Gorgeous in hip 7, 8th in the conference this year, 3:42.27 at Brian Clay. And Caleb Easton of NAU wearing hip 2, 9th in the league, 3:42.37. He was 8th a year ago at the Big Sky Outdoors. If he splits through these first 300 meters as they come across, it is Gorgeous out in front at 46.93. Easton right behind him at 47.05, and then Zanette of Idaho third, 47.24. No change among the top 4. Easton now on the right side of Gorgeous. And it might be Caleb Easton that will have the lead here with 800 to go. And it is Easton that has moved into the lead. $64.84 the time for Easton on that last lap. Slightly faster than Gorgeous. Zanette third. Ellis fourth. And now you're seeing Easton and Gorgeous get some separation. And moving into third is Sam Ellis of Montana State, passing Sammy Gunn. And here comes a kick from the outside from the NAU runner. So Caleb Easton in the lead. And NAU has 4 of the top 6 in this second heat. NAU now 1 through 4 in this heat, running 3 wide with 200 to go. Easton in the lead. Zanette of Idaho making a late push. A lot of looking over some shoulders to see where they are, counting hands. And it is going to be a very close finish for third, as they're fighting to advance into the final for tomorrow. Easton runs 3:52.64. 3:53.33 for Sam Els. Corey Gorgas of Northern Arizona